Although some areas of Idaho haven't seen the last of this winter's snow, spring has arrived. Welcome to Incredible Idaho. I'm Wayne Walker. Tonight we begin our show by exploring the Thousand Springs Preserve along the Snake River near Hagerman, a unique area touched early by the gentle warmth of spring. There's no other place like it in Idaho or in the whole country. Water appears from nowhere, tumbling over rocks and through lush green foliage. It erupts well below the crest of the basalt cliffs that edge the historic boundary of the Snake River. Called the Thousand Springs Reach, it stretches 40 miles, draining an immense underground aquifer. Snows and rains that fall in the Sawtooth and the Teton Mountains feed the underground lake, seeping below 10,000 square miles of Snake River Plain and appearing here almost 150 years later. Most of the springs have been diverted for aquaculture or hydropower, but one remains untapped, Minnie Miller Falls, named for the original owner of the farm below.
We have people coming from all over saying, oh, my grandfather in such and such a state bought Minnie Miller cattle. She sold cattle worldwide. This was quite unusual back in the 1920s and 1930s. She was way ahead of her time.
The farm buildings are beautifully preserved. Intricate woodwork forms the cathedral ceiling of an upper-story hayloft. High up in the beams, a screech owl loafs, keeping a wary eye on the human visitors below. Cattle stalls display technology that was state-of-the-art in the earlier part of this century. Although the buildings remain as a lasting legacy, the cattle are long gone. In 1986, a private nonprofit group called the Nature Conservancy purchased Minnie Miller's old Guernsey farm and turned it into a refuge for wildlife called the Thousand Springs Preserve.
The goals of the Nature Conservancy right here at this preserve are to protect the springs, both the water quality and the water quantity, both are important, to develop good wildlife habitat on this land which has been farmed for many, many years, and to keep it open to to reopen it up to the public.
The farm is actually an island. Sparkling spring water feeds a crystal clear stream that winds along the eastern shoreline of the island. At its southern point, it meets the muddy waters of the Snake River. A distinct line forms, dramatically illustrating the point where pristine meets polluted. But over the last few years, farmers, communities, and local industries have joined together in an effort to clean up the degraded waters of the Snake River.
Okay, put it in there, and we'll push some dirt around it. Okay, and then you want to stand up and use your toe and press. Yeah.
Grace Kohler's fifth graders are doing their part.
If you got a hole, here's a barrel full of plants.
The 25 kids from Wendell Elementary are planting marsh grasses in an eroded area above the springs.
Why? Oh, because kids need to feel that they are part of helping the environment. They need to practice what it is we've talked about in the classroom when we talk about the plants can help clean up the water. They need to see the wetland that's there and have their hands on the process, and then they have ownership in it. You know, they can come back in years later and say, I helped do that. I helped clean up the environment.
Always wants one. When the water runs across the chair, it'll seep into the soil, and when it runs back out, it'll be cleaner.
Well, you plant it all over, and then they keep growing and reproducing, and they spread out everywhere, and it gets really thick, so it catches all the mud.
The kids are adding to a project instigated by the Northside Canal Company. They built a 30-acre wetland on Nature Conservancy property to filter the pollutants out of this irrigation water before it drops back into the Snake River.
Can you imagine this dirty water dropping into that beautiful creek down below? That's what used to happen until the canal company said, you know, I bet we could clean that water up.
The design has become a prototype for others interested in cleaning up the area's streams.
So the dirt comes out in the first and the second stages. In the third stage, the water should be very clean looking, but it still has lots of nutrients. And then what happens after that? Who would like to read this? They're the ones who are going to make the differences. People our age are pretty set in our ways, and it's kids who can learn really how to be good caretakers of the land to keep it healthy for everybody. Oscar, good job. Muy bien.
The kids aren't the only volunteers contributing their time.
Okay. Yep. Go, coming down. Pretty easy.
Kevin Price is a biologist. When he's not working at the Hagerman State Fish Hatchery nearby, he's building and erecting goose nest boxes. He's made 65 of them over the last 2 years, and 6 of those are right here at Thousand Springs Preserve.
That's pretty good right there. That nest is ready. She'll come in, pluck some breast feathers down, make a bedding in the middle to keep her eggs.
This goose seems very contented on her elevated platform. Soon, goslings will hatch, adding to the incredible variety of wildlife already drawn to the area. Bird watchers have recorded 158 species over the last 5 years. Porcupines, muskrats, foxes, deer, even a mountain lion has been sighted. Visitors are encouraged. Whether hiking or paddling, nothing could be finer than a soft spring day touring the beauty of the Thousand Springs Preserve.